Hello! As you prepare for your J-1 internship or training program in the US, you probably have a lot of questions about how you'll get around in your host city. For example, do you know if you'll have access to public transportation or if you'll need to use a car? If you're unsure whether public transportation will be available, we recommend reaching out to your host employer as they can best advise you on the transportation options in your host city. Keep in mind that public transportation is not as commonly used in the US as in other parts of the world, so if you won't be living in a major city during your program, it's likely you'll need to get a car to get around. And if you do need a car, you may also be wondering, am I required to get a US driver's license? How do I buy a car? What insurance, if any, will I need? This video will help to clarify some of those big questions so that you can get out on the road. Step 1. Familiarize yourself with your US host state's laws. Driving laws in the US vary by state, so the requirements we outline in this video may be different depending on where you will live. Each state has their own Department of Motor Vehicles, or DMV, which is the government department that issues driver's licenses. They also set state driving laws and the procedures for registering your vehicle after you've purchased it. Visit our guide on driving in the US for links to each state's DMV website. Step 2. Understand driver's license requirements. The first step to driving in the US is ensuring that you will have a valid driver's license. If you have a valid license from your home country, this may be acceptable to drive in the US for a limited period of time. Some states require that you also have an international driving permit, or IDP, especially if your home country's license is not in English. Visit the DMV website to determine the ID requirements for your state, as well as the length of validity of your foreign license. If you're required to have an international driving permit, you must obtain this in your home country prior to traveling to the US. Make sure to carry both your international driving permit and your valid foreign license whenever you drive, as both are required. Step 3. Apply for a US driver's license. If you will be in the US for a longer stay, or if you don't have an international driving permit, you may be eligible to apply for a US driver's license. Eligibility varies by state, so be sure to check your specific state's DMV website. Some states may require that you have at least 6 months of your program remaining in order to be eligible for a license. If this is true in your state, keep this in mind when planning your application timeline. However, note that you must also have an active CVIS record before you can apply for a driver's license. Make sure to contact InterExchange as soon as you arrive in the US so that we can activate your CVIS record. You should also wait for at least 10 days after your CVIS activation before applying for a license, as this will allow time for your information to be processed through CVIS and other US government databases that the DMV needs to access. Before you head to the DMV, check to see which documents you will need to present with your driver's license application, in addition to the following: your original DS 2019 form, a printout of your electronic I-94 record, your passport with J-1 visa, proof of legal presence or residence in the state. The documents that can be used for proof of residence vary by state, so confirm what your state's DMV requires. Your social security number. Once you've gathered all of the required documents, visit the DMV to submit your application. Step 4. Obtain a car. Once you are legally licensed to drive, you'll need a car. Depending on how often you need a car, you'll need to determine if renting or buying a car is the best option for you. Renting a car. If you won't need a car every day, renting a car when you need one is a great option. Many large cities have car sharing programs, like Zipcar, that allow you to rent a car for a few hours. If you need a car for a longer period of time, like for a road trip, traditional car rental companies will allow you to rent a car for a day or more. The nice thing about renting a car is that most companies will provide car insurance with the rental. As long as you have a valid license, you should be eligible to rent a car. However, some rental companies may have age restrictions for those under 21, and you most likely need to pay a surcharge if you're under 25, so keep this in mind when budgeting for your rental. Buying a car. If you'll need to use a car daily, it may be worth it to buy one. To do so, you'll need to first purchase car insurance, next buy your car, and then finally register your car. Here are some details on how to do this. Purchase car insurance. Before you buy a car, you must purchase car insurance. It is illegal to drive in the US without car insurance, which will protect you against the losses that could occur with a major accident or theft. There are many different insurance companies to choose from, as well as varying levels of coverage. Do some research online to determine the best type of coverage for you. Sites like consumerreports.org typically have explanations on coverage types, money-saving tips, and insurance company comparisons. Please remember that the accident and sickness insurance provided through InterExchange is not car insurance, so it is necessary to research and purchase your own car insurance policy before you buy a car. Typically, policies last for 6 months and can be set up to automatically renew. Note that your bill amount or insurance premium may change after your initial 6-month period. Buying a car. Once you have insurance, it's time to buy a car. First, determine what type of car will fit your lifestyle and budget, and decide if you can buy a used or new car. Used or pre-owned cars may be cheaper, but keep in mind that they may also have additional repair costs. You can visit car dealerships in person or search online for cars for sale in your area. Cars may also be sold directly by current owners, so you may also want to search community boards for used cars. Regardless of whom you buy the car from, make sure to research the car's history on a site like Carfax to learn of any prior mechanical problems or accidents. It's also normal practice to take the car for a test drive or to request a diagnostic check at a mechanic to ensure the car is in good condition. Buying any car is a negotiation. Before you meet with a seller or car dealer, make sure to research the cost of comparable car models so that you know what a fair cost is for the car. You can use sites such as consumerreports.org, edmunds.com, or Kelley Blue Book to research car values and make an informed offer. Registering your car. After you've bought your car, you'll need to register it, which will prove you have paid the state registration taxes and fees. In most states, you'll receive a metal license plate, a validation decal, and a registration certificate once you register your car. All U.S. states require car registration, and there is typically a deadline by which you need to register your car after you've purchased it. This deadline may be as little as 10 days or as many as 30. Check your state's DMV to determine the timeline and the documentation that will be required to register your car. If you were caught driving with an unregistered vehicle after the deadline has passed, you will be fined or ticketed. So make sure to submit the registration application promptly. If you will be in possession of the car for over a year, keep track of your registration renewal date, as most states require you to renew your registration every 12 months. Step 5. Drive safely. After you have a driver's license and car insurance and you've registered your car, you're all set to drive in the US. It's important to understand and follow your state's driving laws and to use caution when driving. Always wear a seatbelt and beware of the weather conditions. Do not drive after drinking alcohol, go above the speed limit, or text or use your cell phone while driving. In the event of a car accident, first check yourself and others for injuries. If someone requires medical attention, call 911 immediately. If no one is injured, report the accident to the police. If it is safe to do so, do not move your car until the police arrive and assess the accident scene. While you are waiting for the police, ask for the names, telephone numbers, and addresses of any witnesses to the accident. This could help with any insurance questions that may arise. You should also exchange the following information with the driver of the other car. Number 1, name, telephone number, address, and driver's license ID number. Number 2, license plate number and make, model, and year of the car. Number 3, registration number and expiration date. Number 4, name of the insurance company and policy number. Do not leave the scene of an accident, even if minor, until you have exchanged information with the other involved individuals and the police have been notified. If you hit a parked car and the other driver is not present, you must leave your name, phone number, and license plate number on a piece of paper and put it under the windshield wiper so that the owner of the car may contact you. Failure to leave your information or report the accident is considered a crime. If you are ever in a car accident, Please also contact InterExchange to let us know as soon as it is safe to do so. Finally, while we know that using a car may be necessary for your day-to-day life in the USA, driving is also a great way to experience American culture. And what's more American than a road trip? Whether you plan to drive only to your internship site or drive across the country, we hope this video has helped answer your questions about how to do so safely and legally. As always, feel free to reach out to InterExchange with any additional questions or concerns. Safe driving!